Hi all, my name is Bridget. Nature has given me a perfect figure, such that no one could even believe that everything I have is natural. Lips, hair, breasts, butt, and a flat tummy. And I eat what I want. You say that this does not happen, but I'll tell you that it was my figure that one day got me into an incredible story. Because of my figure, I had a lot of admirers, guys who would like to date me, but I could not start a relationship with any of them, and all because I didn't like them. I liked a different kind of man, less pretentious than the ones that were around me. And then one day, my mother came up to me. She said she was talking to one of her friends, and she said she had a son who wanted to find a girl for a relationship. I already understood what this conversation was about. My mom was so worried about the fact that I was still single at 17 that she'd already started looking for boyfriends for me herself. More often than not, her options didn't suit me, so I turned her down right away. But my mom overreacted and said that if I didn't go, she would immediately take away my credit card. Angry, I left the house and went to my gay friend Noah to ask for advice. "What's the problem? You don't want to go? Don't go, honey." "You know my mother. She'll take my card right away. How can I live without money?" "Well, then hire someone to go for you." "God, you're a genius." "I know." "It has to be someone who looks like me, like a double." I went straight to an agency. It was closed, but popular. Thanks to Noah's efforts, they let us in quickly. I asked the guys to find me a double as soon as possible, and I gave the okay to my mom and made an appointment for the end of the week. God, when I saw her, I was out of my mind in shock. Our faces were identical. The only thing that we had was different figures. She was chubby, let's just say, and I was skinny. Even Noah was freaked out. Her name is Mila. I promised to pay, and she agreed to my terms. "You get there, act awful, and then blow him off and call me," I said. Noah and I sat in and waited for the call at a cafe nearby. Imagine his face when he sees me. Surely he knows that I have a great figure. But what if he likes chubby girls? Pfft, who likes them? Do people like them? Ugh, I'm sure he doesn't. Then I got a call from Mila, saying she had done everything right. I sent the money to her account. The next day, my mother came up to me, and she looked happy. It seemed strange. I thought she would be tearing up and throwing up, but she complimented me and told me that her friend's son was absolutely thrilled, and that Mom was happy that I finally had a boyfriend. What a bitch! She told me she did everything right. Mila wouldn't pick up the phone, and my patience was at its end. In anger, I got behind the wheel and was about to go to the agency, but on the way, I hit someone else's car at a stoplight. Just what I needed. Not only was the hired girl a dumbass, but now this? I got out of the car and started apologizing, and froze when I saw the handsome man. "Oh, I'll make it up to you."
"Bridget, is that you? Are you okay?"
"How do you know my name?"
"I just had dinner with you last night. I'm Bran, your mother's friend's son."
"Oh, shit. How the hell did he get to be so handsome? Why is everything like this? I'd ruined my mood for life. And then I quickly turned the situation around and took matters into my own hands. "Oh, I'm sorry, it was the shock of not recognizing you right away," I said and smiled. Bran got worried and offered to take me to the hospital, but I refused, so he told me not to worry about fixing the car.
"You look a little different."
"Oh, it's just the clothes."
"Yeah, I guess so. Okay, tonight, like we agreed."
"I'm sorry, what did we agree on?"
Meet me at the movies. You're the one who suggested it."
"Oh, I'm sorry, it's just all a blur." "Okay, but I changed my phone number. Call me on this one, please." I left him at the agency, complained to their employee, and drove away. I could not afford to lose such a handsome man. And this scam artist, who did she think she was? She passed herself off as me and still expected something? No. Now that Bran was in my arms, and he certainly had a crush on me with a figure like this, I intended to go out with him. We met at the movies that evening. We went to a screening. I was high on his presence. He was handsome and tall, and also so interesting. After the movie, we decided to go for a walk, but first I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, he was standing at the entrance, and Mila was heading in his direction. Oh no, I couldn't let that happen. I ran with all my speed and pushed the guy walking next to me, who fell right on top of Mila. Bran turned around, and I was like, "I'm here, let's go." I led him away from there. Mila spotted me, and I gave her the middle finger, and we walked out of the building. The evening was beautiful. We stood by the bridge and watched the river flowing and the couples walking below. The recent rain had left puddles on the ground, and there was also the pleasant smell of wet asphalt. I told Noah all kinds of stories. He laughed, he joked, and I laughed. Perfect. And then he leaned in to kiss me. When I closed my eyes, instead of a kiss, I felt a cold, wet slap. I yelled. We'd been puddled by some driver. I looked in the side mirror of the passing car, and Mila pointed her middle finger at me and laughed. What? What the hell? Bran laughed, my makeup dripped, but I was shaking with anger. But Bran calmed me down. He took off his denim wet jacket and his dry t-shirt. Man, he had the perfect body. He put them on me and put the jacket on himself. It was so cute. I wanted to kiss him again, but someone called him.
Yes, Mom, hi. I'm on a date with Bridget. What? Okay, I'll be right there,
he said excitedly. Did something happen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to go.
He drove me home and went back to his place, but it didn't ruin my mood in any way. The next morning, I met up with my friend Noah and decided to have coffee. I told him about the great date, and he sat there kind of sad. It turned out that he'd fought with the guy because the guy's parents had found out the whole truth. It was disgusting. I felt so bad for Noah. Why should a man who had made the choice and accepted himself for who he was have to suffer? And then I got the message. We need to talk, Mila.
Oh yeah? Well, who's the one that showed up now?
Noah and I drove to the meeting together. Mila was waiting for us in the park. I said, what do you want? And she said, leave me and my boyfriend alone. Your boyfriend? He's mine. You refused to go out with him yourself. How was I supposed to know he was so handsome? That's it. You turned him down, and he liked me.
I'm sorry, but he likes me better, that's for sure.
You think you can just win any guy over with your figure? It's also a question of brains. What are you implying? That I'm stupid? Wow, you think faster than I thought.
What did you say?
Mila got my hair and I got in hers. We got into a real fight. Noah tried to separate us, but he kept getting calls and getting distracted. Noah, damn you, help! I yelled, but he was still distracted. I kicked Mila in the leg and she bit me on the shoulder. Ow! I yelled. I threw her to the ground and we started punching with our hands, protecting our faces. I turned around and yelled to Noah, Where are you, Noah? I could use your help.
Sorry, honey, my boyfriend is coming. We need to talk. It's important.
Noah! I yelled, and suddenly Mila and I froze. Bran was running toward Noah with his arms wide open. What? What the hell? Boyfriend? Do you mean Bran is his boyfriend? We both sat on the ground, shaggy, sweaty, smelly, and watched those two embrace. Bran and Noah were crying, explaining things to each other. And then Mila and I got closer. No way. Is this a dream? Bran got scared, asking who I was and who she was and why we were both there. You first.
Do you two know each other?
We talked. Turns out Bran and Noah were together. His mother found out about Noah and made a fuss, and he, to cover for them, went on her proposed date with me. That kind of thing. So neither of us got him in the end. Mila gave me my money back, and we decided to be friends and cover for each other at some boring meetings with distant acquaintances. Hi guys, my name is Evelyn. I want to tell you a story about how an incident happened in my life that changed it. I lost my beautiful face. I was terribly ill, but in the end, I pulled myself together and regained not only my confidence, but also the attention of boys. They just run after me in droves every day. Do you want to know how it happened and what I did? Then watch my story to the end. About 1.5 years ago, my parents and I went to the hospital to visit my sick uncle, Todd. I didn't really want to go there, but my parents insisted, like he had a complicated operation and all that. I agreed. There were a lot of people in the hospital that day, including the sick, the elderly, and children who were brought there. At the sight of this picture, I felt a little uneasy, but I didn't show it. After talking to my uncle, I asked my mother to sit in the cafeteria to pass the time with a glass of juice. While I was going down the stairs, I was accidentally pushed 5 times by someone. I was so annoyed. And when I went to the cafeteria, there were almost no empty seats, and I had to wait. In the end, a place became vacant, and I went there
and almost head-on collided with another girl. I got here a few seconds earlier than you. Oh no, I've been waiting in line for 20 minutes. So what? I got here before you and that's it. No, this is my place. Mine. We argued for the whole haul. The administration came up to us and asked us not to make such a noise. But by that time, I was boiling with rage. We started arguing so hard that we didn't notice that we were already shouting too much. In the end, I couldn't stand it and pushed her. I know it was unacceptable, but it was clearly not my day. That girl pushed me back. And at that moment, a nurse was walking behind me. She was carrying a tray with some medications. I pushed her, and we fell, and the liquid in the test tube spilled over my face and neck. After a moment, I felt a terrible burning sensation on my skin. I started screaming. I didn't know what to do. I was not the only one who started panicking. The doctors immediately came running up to me. They put me on a stretcher and took me somewhere. In my mind, I remember my mother's voice when she and my father saw me on the gurney. My mother was hysterical. I was given a procedure, then put to sleep. I woke up in a ward with a bandaged face, and my mother and father were sitting next to me, crying. Honey, how are you? It's okay, it burns a little.
It's all over, daughter. Now everything will be fine.
What happened?
You got drugs on your face that caused a severe allergy because you've had sensitive skin since birth.
And everything's fine, right?
Everything is fine. You will be cured. But in the meantime, rest. We love you very much.
After a couple of days, I had the strength to look in the mirror, and I saw only bandages on my face. The sight was something else. But I didn't think I'd lost my face once and for all. 3 more days passed.
How are you, princess?
It doesn't hurt anymore, but when will I get the bandages off?
The nurse will come and do everything while you sit down.
Great. I waited in anticipation. I couldn't wait to take everything off and go home. But when the bandages were removed, I froze in horror. There were strange spots on my face, blisters in places, and my face was so swollen. I screamed in horror, started to get hysterical, cried, and asked what happened to me.
You're allergic, you know. We saved your sight, and that's a good thing because you could have lost it.
Maybe I wouldn't have seen my ugly face then. My mother was sitting next to me, trying to calm me down, but I attacked her, started shouting, accusing her, saying that she and my father had persuaded me to come to the damn hospital, that if I'd stayed at home, nothing would have happened. My parents were crying, and so was I, and it was the worst day of my life. We went home and I got depressed. I never looked in the mirror. I locked myself in my room and didn't come out. I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't talk to anyone, and I thought that my life was over. So a month passed. I lost weight. I stopped caring at all. I was alone all the time. And then someone rang our doorbell. My mother opened the door and told me that a guest had come to see me. Don't let anyone in. Tell them to go. It's that girl from the hospital. What? Did she still have the nerve to come to me? I ran downstairs angry. I wanted to cry and hurt her. She stood in the hall and looked at me guiltily. Get lost! What do you need? Come to laugh? No, I heard what happened to you. I just want to help. You've already helped. I know it's my fault. I want to help, please. Nothing will help me anymore. Look at me. My mom, as a cosmetologist, she said that she can help you. It's free. You need to go through a lot of procedures. It will take about a year, but everything will heal. Come to our salon. My name is Betty. Call me when you're ready. Betty left, and I stood there with her card in my hand. Another week passed. I decided I wasn't going anywhere. And then, all of a sudden, I wanted a pizza. So I ordered it, and when the delivery guy came, no one answered the door. Mom was in the bathroom. Dad was in the toilet. For the first time in so long, I opened the door, and the delivery guy was just dumbfounded. He looked at my face. Then I took the pizza, threw him his money, and slammed the door. Tears welled up in my throat. My mother tried to calm me down, and then I shoved the business cards from Betty at her. Then I decided that it might be worth a try. I called her and went to their salon. Her mother examined my skin and said that everything can be fixed. These were the best words I could have hoped for. I was assigned a lot of things, and then Betty invited me to her house. My mom is a beautician, and I'm into makeup, so let me try some on you? Can I? Of course you can. Okay. She spent 2 hours doing something on my face. Then when I looked in the mirror, I saw another me in front of me. I was a real beauty. Tears welled up in my eyes, and Betty took my hand and pulled me out for a walk. I hadn't been out for so long, but I was looked at, admired, and a couple of guys even wanted to take my number. This attention gave me hope. I was very happy. I asked Betty to teach me the secrets of makeup, and she told me everything. How to properly apply base, take care of your skin, do eyebrow correction, draw eyeliner, use concealer. I didn't know all this before. And then she taught me how to do makeup every day. So when I woke up, I went to the mirror and was transformed beyond recognition. Then one day, Betty came up to me and handed me a small suitcase. This is a gift for you. Wow, what is it? When I opened it, I was just blown away. There was a lot of makeup. She gave me a beauty box. I was thrilled. Oh, Betty, you shouldn't have. It's a gift from my mom and me. I still feel guilty. I hope we can cure you. You won't be mad at me? Are you kidding? You're the only one I've allowed to come near me. Thanks. You know, despite the makeup and all that, my mom, as a cosmetologist, says that the main thing is to accept yourself as anyone. Only then will others also love you, and makeup and care is already secondary. Maybe you're right. By the way, it's been 6 months. My skin is much better. The blisters are gone. There are only spots here and there. I told you, my mother is a pro. That's how I imperceptibly experienced a fateful moment in my life and found a friend who helped me to love myself anyway. I still get the attention from the outside, and it's inspiring. In addition to the procedures, Betty and I were so interested in makeup that we signed up for a bunch of master classes with World Beauty Masters. I've decided to go into the beauty industry to help other girls like me, insecure girls, find their makeup, create the image they want, and conquer the world. Do you think we can handle it? Tell me, did you guys like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Do not forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.